Welcome to Enlightenment Unknown, Life of a Spiritual Nomad, where we break generational curses, create generational blessings. And one of the blessings we have today is one of my favorite people on the planet is back in town from Egypt. Hello, Margaret.
Hey. I'm very, very happy to be here and on your podcast again. Just visiting the U.S. Just happy.
That's funny. So what does it feel like to say I'm just visiting the United States?
It's very weird because I never expected to even leave the U.S. because I love the U.S. So going anywhere else, even on vacation outside of the U.S. wasn't even a thing. So to be actually living in Egypt part-time and coming back to the U.S., visiting for an extended period of time is quite different.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I always love having you here. And we talked about a bunch of stuff before we got on the podcast, but I wanted to tell you, I just took neurolinguistics programming. So I'm now certified in level 1, and NLP has changed everything for me. Have you done that before? Have you had any of that work done?
I've not had any of that work done. I do know about it. I've read a lot about it. I did sign up for some online courses that I've not actually sat down and taken the time to do them yet. I have a few classes that I've signed up for, and I've not forced myself to sit through them yet to do them. But that is one of them.
Yeah.
It can be a game changer, a life changer for people.
Well, one of the things I didn't talk about really on the show is because I struggled with this overwhelming anxiety. I don't know if it's from COVID, but the honest answer is I believed it was from my spiritual awakening. I believed that I couldn't go out in big groups of people because I was super uncomfortable, and then started to hide from life a little bit. Megan, who ran the class, texted me Sunday night. She said, "Hey, buddy, you've got to be there." And the first 2 days was really difficult for me to sit in the class the whole day. Then Wednesday, I don't know what happened, what shifted it, but I woke up Wednesday morning excited to go to the class, and just something shifted. I don't know if we just broke the programming or whatever the deal is. And for me to say I feel normal is a big statement, and I feel pretty normal these days, and I am grateful for that.
It's huge because you're breaking the pattern of the subconscious programming.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've spoken about it before. There's 60,000 thoughts you have a day. 85% of them are the same thoughts you had yesterday.
Yes.
There's only 15% that's new. So you just keep recycling the same old thoughts. So you got to get in there and stop that program, which is what NLP, I believe, is part of what it does.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things she was talking about, they taught us, think about toothpicks. All these millions of toothpicks are coming in, but we only pick about 112. I think it's 112. And the toothpicks that we're picking up are based off of our belief system. So if you believe you're unsafe, if you believe you're traumatized, if you believe you're healthy, if you believe you're being victimized by people, those are the toothpicks that are going to come in that you're going to recognize. So the NLP goes in, and we go back into your timeline, and we rewire your brain so your brain isn't looking for where am I being victimized here, because you're not being victimized anymore. It's crazy how it works. So as we did it, I think there were 16 people in the class. And as you're learning it, you're going through the healing process too. So it was a week of deep therapy, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, every one of us was crying. And so at the end of the day, it was just exhausting. So I am looking to incorporate that into my healing work now. And
that is
it's going to be pretty cool.
I had one student that is a neuro-linguistic program practitioner and took the quantum healing. And I looked at her, I said, you are going to be able to do massive healing help for people, because the quantum goes in and takes the energy away from those thoughts. So they're not in there being fed anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the neuro-linguistic programming, you're going to retrain those thoughts to something else.
Yes. Yeah.
So now you have a humongous massive, powerful toolkit because you can go remove the energy from that and put in something new.
Yep. Yep. So I was looking at that, and of course, in the class, we're keeping the other modalities out as best we can. But I was seeing, I was like, man, we can do X, Y, and Z here. We can add this other stuff to the table. And everybody in that class, you could watch as the days go by, just were different people. And I didn't tell you this, but one of the things we did is we went back to the first time we felt sadness, right? Is one of the things that we did. And it was bizarre because when we did unworthiness, it took me back to a past life where I was standing over a grave where I had buried my ex-wife, well, she was my wife, she was deceased, where I buried my wife and my children, and I had this overwhelming sadness. I had a pistol in my hand. It was not a good scene. And yet when we did the one for sadness, it took me back to when I was leaving heaven the very first time to come here, how sad I was. To leave everybody, to leave Jesus. Archangel Michael was there. It was just this bizarre thing, and I was not expecting that.
Lots of times in those kind of classes, those are the things that happen or the things you're not expecting, but they will be the most profound healing for you.
Yeah.
And not to make light of it, but coming here at this time, we've been here many times before, and we know how freaking hard it is. And that's putting it up politely. But we agreed because we came here to help fix it.
Sure.
And I tell you, if I come back again, which I believe I don't have to if I don't want to, I want a microscope to read the dotted line because I believe that's a whole nother, you're going to do this, that you're just signing your name over. So, because I think...
You're going to read that fine print.
It's not even, it doesn't even look like fine print. It just looks like a dotted line.
Yeah.
So, but I believe we knew what we were coming for.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we could do it.
Yep.
And we were allowed to come because we knew we could do it, and the powers that be knew that we could. So when it gets rough, just remember that.
Yeah. So how many, I guess this question I have is, how many times do you think we come here? I mean, is there a certain amount of times we have to come here, or we just keep coming back over and over? Do we keep coming back until we learn all the lessons, or what? What do you think that is?
We didn't, after this lifetime, we don't have to come back because the wheel of karma is being removed from the planet now. This is why a lot of people have these very difficult lives right now, because you're having to live out all of your karma now. Mm-hmm. Before we could say, oh, I'll do it in that lifetime and I'll do these 3 things in this lifetime. And this time it was like, nope, we're getting rid of karma. That way we get rid of the wheel of reincarnation. So we have to get rid of the karma. So you got to do it all this lifetime.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh man. Okay. So in order to stop the reincarnation, that had to happen. Number 2, the veil that kept us in place in the etheric realm, unless we balanced out our karma, we weren't allowed to really go off and live in other places. Mm-hmm. We could live in the etheric realm and go through healing or whatever, but we would have to come back to balance that karma out or to help somebody else out. So now the veil's gone. The veil was gone December 2016, December 21st. The only veils that are in place are self-imposed. So, the veil you have on your third eye because you're afraid to see what you can see because
Sure.
It might freak you out. So the karma being gone, now we do not have to come back anymore if we don't want to.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to come back.
I know a lot of people, they're like, uh-uh.
I mean, I've experienced the limited things I've experienced with feeling Jesus, being in front of Jesus, being in front of Archangel Michael, just the things that I've seen. I'm not ready to go home because I'm not in danger or anything like that. And I'm ready to go, but I'm not ready to go, if that makes sense. And I'd have to be persuaded pretty good to come back. Just saying. I don't know if they have Maseratis and fun shit like that in heaven, but yeah, maybe. I guess maybe we could create something. I want to take Roxanne with me, so.
I have a friend, she says, I like ice cream sandwiches and they don't have them in heaven. I want to stay here a little longer, please. So you could have lived 20 past lives.
Yeah.
You could have lived 1,000 or thousands of past lives on Earth. That's not including from other realms of existence before you decided to incarnate in Earth.
Yeah.
So, in all actuality, you could have lived like 300,000 lives.
Yeah. Well, I was at the post office a couple weeks ago over something, and the gentleman came around the corner. The manager was there, and he was talking lady. He looked up at me. He said, "Why do I know you? How do I know you? I know you." And I just smiled because I recognized his soul. And I was like, I don't know, maybe my picture's on the wall in the post office giggling. And he just looked at me. She said, I don't know. I know you, but whatever he needs, you make sure you give it to him. I'm like, thank you. It's fun.
You're
It's
going to
fun.
find that happening more and more often as the vibration of the Earth keeps changing as we go through this ascension process. More and more people's recognition of other souls that they know, don't know why. Even people looking just like someone else.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of that as well.
Well, do you think when we learn our lessons or we raise our vibration and we heal and stuff, that part of that's they're seeing the light in us? Do you think it's that, or do you think it's always a soul connection?
No, they're seeing the light in you because you could walk by children. At least when I walk by children, they're like, I would be in any sort of event. We'd be sitting there and the babies, or in line at the grocery store, and the babies are putting their arms out for me. And the parents are looking like, she doesn't like anybody or animals, especially animals. I was at a friend's house a couple weeks ago, and her cat was coming over and rubbing me all over and almost in my lap. And she said, what did you do to my cat? And I said, nothing. She said, she hates everybody. And I said, well, apparently not.
Yeah, not everybody. Maybe she just hates you. I don't know.
They can see the light. They can feel the light. They can, or they can feel it. But children can see it.
Yeah.
So can other adults. So it's a soul recognition on that, in that way, or it could just be they see your light.
Yeah. Well, I know I had a healing session the other night with a client, and she said, let's get something to eat. So we walked right across the street to Tempt and had something to eat there. And the little girl that served us, she just comes up and she looks at me and she's like, I feel like I've known you forever. How do I know you? And I just smiled. I was like, I don't know, maybe a past life. And it was fun. She was a nice young lady. And later she came up. I said, all right, so let me ask, what are your spiritual gifts? And she says, well, you get right down to it. I said, yeah, I don't have time to mess around. And she started talking about that stuff. And I don't know, I like to talk about it to people. It's fun.
I love to talk about it to people. And my prayer is that more and more of us are all talking about it to people, and everybody's awake on the planet. The electricity's on, and the building, not everybody's turning on the switch.
Sure. Well, we've got one of the ladies that works in the building that I work at. Her son his name's Walter. So she always invites me because Walter comes to work on Friday. So I go down there and sit and play with Walter. He loves me. And she just looks at me. She's like, why does he like you so much? I said, I don't know.
It just happens.
Stranger things have happened.
You will have big friend circles, like people just know. So you can have a lot of friends. I mean, they might be more than acquaintances. You have conversations with them here and there. And then there are people that are acquaintances that they're just drawn to your light. So They like your page. They like what you post and
Sure.
things like that. It's about frequency. That's it, plain and simple,
Yeah.
and recognition.
Well, I was grateful today. I had a new client come in, surfer from the ocean front, even though Virginia Beach doesn't have great waves, but we still surf here. 62 years old and coming in and really, he didn't even know why he was there. One of his friends, which is a client, told him, said, dude, just go. And so we talked for a little bit, and I kept telling him, I said, I'm not really a therapist. I said, but what I'm good at is making people feel lighter and removing stuff. He said, I don't understand what that is. I'm like, why don't you just have some blind faith, man? You're here. The session's paid for. We got 25 minutes. Get on the table. And afterwards, he didn't want to leave. He's like, I haven't felt good before. I haven't felt light like this. And his son is struggling with some things and has some issues going on. And I told him, I said, in Ho'oponopono, they talk about the ancient Hawaiian healing modality that if you heal what's inside of us, we actually heal our children and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. On the other side. And that really caught his eyes, like, because he wants his son to be okay. And anybody can learn, anybody can start healing. He says, well, I'm 62. I was like, who cares? Who cares? Maybe the gift that you're supposed to give your kid is showing that dad can not react anymore, because he had a Navy SEAL dad that broke his arms, broke his ribs, beat up mom. I mean, it was a tough life that he had. And, you know, watching him go through that stuff, tell that story, he says, I don't cry. I said, well, maybe you should. Yeah. Just let it out. And he cried a little bit, but it was cool. And I told him I was going to talk about this on the podcast today. He says, tell the story. So just watching him heal and seeing that piece of freedom that we get when we go through the healing process is pretty cool.
You would not believe the difference in age range of my clients. I get clients that are in their 70s, 80. I've had some clients in their 80s. I've from all ages, from teenagers all the way up through. It is never too late. I have students that are in their 60s or maybe even 70s. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, I wanted to do this my whole life. I'm supposed to. Now I can go out and help people. Sure. It doesn't matter. Age is a number. It's a human construct. We were designed to live 1,000 years, and in all of the scriptures, the human construct that came in the power play is, okay, you're going to get stressed, you're going to overwork, you're going to do this, then you're going to get sick, and then you're going to die. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what the program is. Mm-hmm. So we get to break the program.
Yeah, we do. And it's interesting how in NLP we remove limiting beliefs, how these limiting beliefs get removed, or your vibration changes, or whatever you want to call it. Something shifts, and all of a sudden everything opens up for somebody.
Sure does.
Yep. Well, I remember when I was 14, I had my first job pushing my little lawnmower down the street. I don't know why I said this. I just remember looking up at the sky and said, I just make money easily. And I remember this little tingly feeling that came through my body. I was like, oh, that's nice. Thank God, because I like making money easily. I watch some of my clients and friends struggle with money issues. I'm like, guys, you just got to reframe that, because making money is easy. I attract checks in increments of $10,000 or more all the time. I say that all the time. And checks just show up, and maybe they would have shown up anyways, but it sure seems like they show up more when I say it.
Well, there's many different thoughts that go into poverty consciousness, that limiting belief. Money doesn't grow on trees. Just parents telling their kids, money doesn't grow on trees. Yes, it does.
It does. Where do you think they make the damn paper from?
It's made of money is made of paper and linen.
Yes.
Because I researched it. I had to know before I said it that I'm saying it right. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard for money. Money is the root of all evil. That's limiting beliefs, and those are the things that hold you back, that actually block you from receiving your abundance. And I'm not talking just about money. It's about anything good coming in your life.
Yeah.
It's about anything. I mean, having a nice place to live, a comfortable place to live, and food on your table, that's abundance. Doesn't mean, well, yeah, you typically have to have money to pay for it to do that, but money is an energy. It is not, money's dirty. It's not. It's an energy. And it's even easier now that we work less with cash, that you can create abundance for yourself. Because imagine looking at your bank app and your balance is all these numbers, $5,937.67. Okay, I paid this. I paid $50,000 Habitat for Humanity. I paid $20,000 to water wells in Africa, and boom, my deposit, my balance just went up. Someone just put money in there.
Yeah.
And it's only numbers.
It is.
Because we're not seeing the physical exchange of the cash anymore. So just imagine the numbers going up.
Yep. Every time I go to my bank account, I catch myself unconsciously saying it all the time. My bank account doubles all the time. And when I go in there, I'm always happily shocked. I'm like, oh, money just reappeared in my account after I've paid all my bills. And it seems like it went up and it didn't go down. I don't like to play in the 3D world. Money comes to me easily. I am healthy. Love comes to me easily. That's a new one. I've never said that one before. Love.
Be love.
Yeah.
Once you are love, it comes easily.
That would be, yeah.
But
I'm
how
going to
about
start saying that.
Instead of saying that, I receive love easily.
I receive love easily. That's funny. I've never said that before. I love Joel Osteen. I've got some friends that just don't like him, and it's funny because all the ones that don't like him have money issues. You know, I want the dude to be rich. I mean, he makes books, he sells it. I don't care what he does. I think his message is good. I respect him, and I like him. So he was talking one day about prayer and saying, when you go to God, you say, oh, please forgive me. Then tomorrow, please forgive me. Please forgive me. He said it's like going to your dad saying, hey, Daddy, I just wrecked the car. Can you forgive me? Sure, son. The next day, hey, Daddy, remember yesterday when I wrecked the car? Will you forgive me? Sure. The third day, hey, Dad, will you forgive me? About the fourth day, he's going to be like, hey, dude, can we move it along? And he said, this is what it's like when we're going to God and asking to be forgiven over and over. You only have to ask one time. But what he said that I never thought about, he says, you have to open your heart to receive the forgiveness.
And you have to be open to see it.
Yes. So, you know, what I would encourage you to do, if you're listening to the show and you've got money, you know, you've got this abundance of money that just flows to you now because all of a sudden you're healed, is open your heart to receive it. Open your heart to receive that forgiveness. I should open my heart to receive the love. That's been closed for me. And as we're talking, it's just saying that has been closed for me. So that's interesting. See, I always heal when I'm around you, Margaret.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's not me, though. I'll be the first one to tell you. It's just the energy of the divine running through me. And before we started the podcast, I asked, dear God, please let your words be my words, your thoughts be my thoughts. Prayer is a powerful thing, but you must pray from a place of power, not desperation.
Yeah.
And then be open to it being, prayers are always heard, received, and answered. You may not think they're answered because you're thinking they're supposed to come a certain way.
Sure. Yes.
You need to be open to all the possibilities. You need to open your eyes and your mind and look around. And trust me, if you start doing that, you'll start seeing miracles every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I recently bought this building from my dad and started this co-working space, 18 months, 2 years ago or something. And I remember when I opened it and started it, nobody was coming. I had somebody helping me, and that person had this limiting belief that you can't make money at this. We should drop the price. I'm like, people are man, people are not even a mile away. I can see where Gather is, which is a co-working space, which is an international co-working space. I can see their building, and the space that I'm renting for $450, they're renting for $1,800. Don't tell me I'm overpriced. It was an energy thing. And long story short, we didn't work together anymore. He's still a friend, but the energy of, and the belief system that we can't rent it went away. And then the next block that was there was my block. My block, that this building carried a lot of energy from, it was a family business and all. So there was some frustration and anger there. And I started to go in and pay attention to that and heal and forgive. And the day that they called and said, hey, you qualify to buy the building, my heart opened fully, and I filled up within the next 3 weeks. We did nothing different. Matter of fact, I stopped marketing the building. And then people just found me and filled up. And as I'm saying that, my ears are just ringing like crazy. But
because you healed the things within you.
Yes. Yep.
And then you opened up the flow.
Yep. So, shocker when they used to say all the time, I'm the problem, I'm the problem. We are we are the source. Joe, I was talking earlier, Joe Dispenza has this show out, this documentary, I guess, I think it's on Prime, called Source, It's Within You, and where he's talking about we're going in and doing meditation, and he's talking about where they're doing these meditations, and actually people who are doing meditation can't get sick. It's crazy.
Well,
the government doesn't want to hear about it.
I used to be sick all the time. I used to have bronchitis 2 or 3 times a year. I've had pneumonia 4 times. And I started taking some black seed oil and oregano oil and really began working on meditating every day. I've not been sick since.
Yeah.
I had some sort of little cough for 2 days. This was about a week ago. And I was like, no, we're not doing that. No. And I went in and started doing energy work and got some thieves, essential oil and some stuff like that. And then the next day I was fine.
Yeah.
But I've not even had it to that extent since 2019.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I meditate almost every single day.
I don't.
But you know,
to do that. Yeah.
No, but I don't sit there in the quiet No. I listen to a guided meditation when I go to sleep. I will play some sort of guided meditation when I'm doing my dishes. Mm-hmm. I will go to bed and play some sort of frequency music and do my own little thing. Even if it's just 5 minutes or 10 minutes a day, it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't have to be a half an hour. You just have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important. Well, one of the things that I started adding to the show is when Kelsey and I were hanging out, she would always pick from these cards, and I always opened my heart. So we're nearing the end of the show, and I picked a card. So why don't you read the card from the Mindful Affirmations deck that we have? So this is Kelsey's choice of the day.
I let go of all resistance to change. And why would people be afraid to change? Because they are afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
The land of familiar, we know how to deal with. We know something comes up, we know what to do. We know how to feel, and that's it. When something new comes up, it's like, what's that? Oh, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to feel that way, and I don't know how to be happy. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't believe how many people don't know how to be happy.
Yeah, I could probably be on that fence for a little bit, but I'm figuring that out.
Because we grow up and we're in these situations and all this stuff, so we can deal with stress, we can deal with anxiety, we can deal with depression, we can deal with heartache, we can deal with all that. Land of familiar. When you're happy and you go on, you're like, wow, I'm having this great time, and everything only lasts a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. And then bang, we create something that takes us right back to the stress, to the anxiety, to the depression, because we are familiar with that. We know how to deal with that being happy is a different feeling. So once you realize that you don't know how to feel happy, then you can say, damn it, I'm going to feel happy. I know it. I'm going to feel happy and I deserve to be happy. And then you do the work and you change it.
Well, it's a choice. It's a choice.
It's clearly a choice because I will tell you, I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I was chronically depressed most of my life, on medications a lot of the time, most of my life. I started this work and I started clearing myself and doing things. And probably the biggest change for me was the day I realized I didn't know how to be happy.
Yeah. So I think for me, everything was painful, everything. I chose a painful life. When I was getting out of high school, I specifically researched what is the most difficult branch of the service, what has the hardest boot camp, what is the hardest, most difficult path I can pick, and I picked the United States Marine Corps, and I love the Marine Corps. You've heard me talk about it. I've had people recently tell me, you identify as a Marine too much. Well, maybe if you were a Marine, you could identify as one too. I'm just teasing, but I hear what they're saying. They're saying that I should identify more as a healer than the other. However, when I talk about pain, the Marine Corps brought a lot of pain to the table. So you took an unhealed young man, brought in this training and the things that we did, and it really magnified things. And I'm just grateful that I was able to find my path and heal out of it. So I didn't know what pleasure and joy was because I was so encrusted in the pain and the misery.
Is there to say something? Why identify as a healer or a Marine? Why can't you just be? Hi, I'm Wes.
Yeah.
Happy to meet you. Those are things you do.
Mm-hmm.
Those are labels for what we do.
Sure.
Who are you?
Oh, God, you're going to make me cry. So...
This is how you can tell people are running a store, because you'll say, who are you? And they'll say, oh, I'm a single mom. I've got 3 kids. I have to work 80 hours a week. I have no help. No, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Who are you? And then they'll stop and then they'll give you more labels about what they do. And no, who are you?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at that question. I'm writing it down now.
It's who you are as a being.
Yeah.
I know those saying, I'm a good person. I love people. I want to help people. Those are parts of who you are. And they are labels as well, what you do. But I am Joel Osteen. He says, this is where I heard it was from him. What follows I am will find you. I am loving. I am amazing. I'm a divine being. I am. It was ringing in my ears.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you, one of the blessings that I've had for most of my life is experiencing some of the friendships my dad has had. And recently reconnected with my buddy Jerry Joe. I think he goes by Jerry these days, but I always remember him as Jerry Joe. And he's a pilot, and he's just this amazing person. And I was nervous to tell him about my healing work. And so we've talked about God some, and he's always had that anchored in his life, and that's new for me. And I told him, I said, I hope you don't think differently about me. And I told him about my journey and stuff, and he's like, brother, we're the same. I've experienced the same thing. I believe what you believe. And I was worried I was going to lose a friend over that, because my belief in the work that I do is important. And what a blessing it is. So we've been talking, and he was in D.C. last night. We're talking about when he flies in, seeing each other and stuff like that. But that is a connection that I had a lifelong connection from my dad, and his dad were lifelong friends. And it's just a beautiful thing. I love Jerry Joe, man. He is cool. And he's going to be on the show soon. And watching the light that we talk about and radiate out to all these other people where they're not afraid to talk about it anymore, where it's becoming a topic at the kitchen table, at the grocery store and stuff like that. We're in a spiritual war, and we are growing by leaps and bounds every day. I like it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find different words for war or battle or fight. It's we're winning, and what are we winning? What is the light winning? So people say, "I'm fighting cancer. Please stop. Please stop. Don't fight," because that makes it aggressive. That makes it hard. How about you're living with cancer for the moment? We're at war right now. Why? So instead of saying we're at war, there's a conflict going on to help between two different parties that don't agree and to help other people. So trying to find different words, because it is about frequency, to say those things. So not to try to not say fight. The other thing is, when people ask me, what do you do? I can gauge right away how I can say it. Some people I can come out and say, well, I'm an energy healer. And I'm a psychic and two different, whatever. And then there are other people that I can tell, I'm like, I do self-empowerment and life coaching, which I do. It's part of the work.
Yep.
So I will put it that way. It's not out of fear. It's something to help them understand.
Sure.
To give them an understanding. So that's what I do. That's not who I am.
Okay. So then who are you? How do you answer that question?
I am an amazing human, divine, loving being that is kind and generous. And I only want to see the good for everybody. Not just my friends. I mean whole humanity. I have big aspirations, people. And I do work on that. I do work on humanity. I do work on the grid. I help with the earth. The little things, recycle. Just the little things. Pray for them to stop them from being able to spray chemtrails. It's happening more and more here in Virginia Beach. I'm seeing it while I'm here this time now. We have one day of sun, one day of rain. The day of sun, you'll see them out there flying. You'll see the chemtrails everywhere. And then the next day we have overcast.
Yeah.
California, it's really bad. So pray for that. Pray for that to stop.
Yeah.
Pray for world peace.
Well, we'll pray for world peace. And you have a retreat coming up.
I do. November 1st through the 11th. Big energetic gateway. Bigger than what I thought. I thought it was just a portal number and stuff like that, but it's actually bigger than what I thought. And this is a 1 year. So it's all about the ones, new beginnings, closing down the old, bringing in the new. There's big work to be done on transforming your body to be able to hold the frequencies of the divine feminine, divine masculine, and go through this ascension process faster. A lot of people are doing that kind of stuff, but we are actually going to go through a process to change your chakras. But the people who are called to Egypt or all sacred sites, it doesn't matter where, or even anywhere on the planet you're called to go. You hold codes that need to be released in that place for this ascension process that we're all going through. Some call it New Earth. We're going to New Earth. There's 3D Earth, there's Matrix, there's this, there's that. It's an ascension and a descension process. So there's a lot of symptoms that go with that, but everybody holds energy and codes for specific places for things to happen. So the people that are called to go to Egypt and they have this affiliation with Egypt, you probably have had past lives there, and you hold some sort of codes that are necessary to help us go through this process. So you'll be given an opportunity to let them go consciously, or let me tell you, you can just step on the property on the land of Egypt and they will unconsciously start downloading from you and past life recognition comes in. But I'm also, because I also am a healer and there's a label there, I am to help people go through whatever transformation that they're going to go through and whatever healing they'll need to go through while they're there.
That's cool.
So there's a lot to it, and we're going to where the divine feminine is with the Isis temple, and also a very small, private, quiet Isis temple that's not spoken of or mentioned often.
Cool.
And we'll go to the Osiris temple for the divine masculine, so that we'll anchor all that in. And of course, you can't have a retreat in Egypt without going to the pyramids.
That sounds like fun. So if they wanted to go, how do they connect with you? And if you want to connect with Margaret to do healing work, she does long distance healing work. We both do, but Margaret is my mentor. She's my teacher, and she can do things that I don't understand in a really cool way. So if they wanted healing work from you, they wanted to connect, they wanted to come on the trip, how did they do that?
My website is either seekthelightwithin.com, just how it's spelled, how it sounds, or margaretbryant.org will take you there. I do have to update the dates in the itinerary for the Egypt retreat because we've changed some things. So it is actually going to be a little less expensive, which is a great thing.
Nice.
And just I need to go on and do that as soon as I have some spare time. But yeah, I'm on Facebook under, you can put in Margaret Bryant Energy Oracle. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok and all that. So you'll start to see more videos from me talking about this divine feminine and divine masculine and shift and the energy shift within a person that's going to happen. I have a list of videos that I need to start putting together, but that's not going to happen until I get back to Egypt in a couple weeks.
Yeah. And you could always reach out to me at VB Healer, as in Virginia Beach Healer, vbhealer.com, VB Healer Instagram, and I will connect you. But Margaret, it's always fun to have you on the show. You've been here for a little bit doing work, and I just want to tell you I love you, and you've changed my life.
I love you, and you've changed my life too. You're an amazing human, whether you realize that or not.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And just to reiterate to everybody, the United States Marine Corps is the greatest fighting force on the planet. Some of my friends are like, I can't believe you said that. Well, sometimes the truth hurts, but we love you guys. Be safe. If you need anything, you reach out. And I hope something from this message, you heard that at a deep level, and just know you are perfect. You are where you belong. And we respect and we miss you and we love you. Thank you.
And you're worthy. You're worthy of the miracle.
You are worthy.